Hello out there, everyone. Dave here. Today, we're going to do a study in values for all you beginners, especially this is for Grasshopper. She knows who she is. I've made up a template, so to speak, of what we're going to do. It's going to be just one video to get used to oils. Most people, when they think about oil painting, they want to jump right into color. But you should know how to manipulate the paint. You got to learn how to mix the paint and understand values. In nature, there are infinite values, but naturally, we cannot paint infinite values. So it's been narrowed down over centuries or whatever to a 9-value scale. In this particular situation, we're going to go from 1 being the darkest value to 9 being the lightest value, or white. 1 will be black, 9 will be white, and 5 will be a mid value. Now, value represents the amount of light on a subject. That's what value basically means, the lightness or the darkness of a color. For this particular exercise, as you can see, you may take time to stop the video and actually make this up. This is let's see, I think this is about a 12-inch wide by maybe 14 or so sheet of canvas pad, not the paper, canvas pad. Now you can see measurements, probably if you really zoom in, you can see that to make this particular 9-step value scale, I brought it down 1 inch from the top of the paper. Then I went across here. Actually, each one of these sections is exactly 1 inch all the way across. And they're 1.5 inches from the top to bottom. So you need to make this scale. Then not using really perspective, just kind of eyeballing it, I drew a box in more of a two-point perspective look to it, so we could have 3 planes to paint. And you can take either a template, or you can take, in this case, I took a tape, a roll of masking tape, and just did a good circle. Now you got to do the oval by hand. That's where it doesn't have to be perfect. None of this has to be perfect here. Then I actually did another oval and I made a cylinder. This cylinder is about maybe 3 inches wide or so. And I did a triangle and did an oval here at the bottom. This is going to represent a cone. So once I did them all in pencil, then I took a black marker and actually went over each one so that the oil wouldn't cover it up, or actually not so much cover it up, but it wouldn't erase it or delete it. You can see it very well rather than just pencil marks, as you can see. So what you need to do first of all probably is stop the video and then complete this, because this is what we're going to paint on. And my palette is right here. Now for the palette, I've got actually a cookie sheet. I get the cookie sheet from Myers or any other store like this, and it's nice and flat, lightweight, aluminum, and in particular, it's more of a mid-tone. Even though it's kind of glossy looking, it's more of a mid-tone gray. And this is what I usually use as my palette I like to paint on. I've got bigger ones, but for right now, this is the one I like to use for smaller projects. So make sure you get these together first, and mainly make sure you have all this together. So once you do that, come back, and here we're going to start. Right now, what we're going to do is going to put some black paint over here. We're going to create a 9-step value scale. We'll put the black paint over in this area. We've got to put quite a little bit. And then we're going to put the white paint. And the white may be a little oily, so we shall see. Sometime it is. We'll put that way over here. Yes, it is. Quite a little bit oily. I'm going to put that white paint over here. Quite a bit of white. And with our rag, we're going to wipe up some of that. We don't want to run it everywhere. That's two values right now. We've got our value 1, which is black, and value 9, which is white. So what we're going to do now is actually mix a mid-tone, which is a value 5. So we're going to take some of this black, take quite a bit, not used to a vertical palette, but we'll make it work. We'll take some black, and after each time you get into the paint, actually clean off your palette knife so you don't contaminate the other color. Got it nice and clean. Now we're going to take a nice swatch of white. I'm going to put the white over here. Now the idea is to get a mid-tone, something between the black and the white. It's more of a good judgment. It's not rocket science or complete scientific. You want to get a in-between mixture. Now before I do anything else, I'm going to clean off my palette knife. I'm pushing this white over this way some more. Right over here. And I think it looks pretty decent. Any value scale you make is going to be different. Everybody sees light and darkness a little bit different than the next person. So don't worry about it. Now I'm going to clean some of this off with some odorless mineral spirits so we don't contaminate other values. We'll clean this off a little bit right here. Plus we're going to have some other values to go in that area. And we're going to do the same with the black. Clean this off right here. Get it nice and clean. A little bit more mineral spirits. Okay, we've got that clean. Now, what we've done so far, we've taken step number 1, which is pure black, step number 9, which is titanium white. We've mixed the two together, and we've got a mid-tone, which was step 5. Now, that's step 5. So, next we're going to make, up here, we're at step 5. The step in between 1 and 5 is step 3. So to make 3, we're going to take some of this. You don't need that much. Put it right here. Some of this tone. And a little black. As long as we get a visual difference between 5 and number 1, always clean off your palette knife in between. Clean that palette knife off. I may make this a little bit darker. Just a little bit. Okay, can we see a difference in that? Let's see. Let me straighten this up a little bit right down through here. Keep everything separated. Keep it organized. I'll leave a little bit more spirits to clear that up. We want to keep a space in between there. A couple of fresh towels here. Now, that is value step 3, as you can see from our value scale up here. So we'll take a little bit of this value step 5 again, and we'll put it right between, right in here. Clean the palette knife off. You may not see it here on camera, but I've got another cloth here that I usually clean my palette knives off. This comes in handy. Now we'll take a little white. Take some of the white. Mix in this value. Okay, let me put some, tighten up my board here. I got a little bit of a shaking here. Ah, there we go. Tighten that board up. And I'll tighten it up over this side too. We don't want any movement. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to take a little bit more white. You just got to kind of eyeball this. The more you do it, the better you get at doing it. And it's all very subjective. I'm going to add a little bit more white, clean my palette knife off before I go into the white. And I think I want some more white in it. Palette knife clean again. This time I'm going to put a nice little bit in there. Okay, I hope we can see a nice value change. So now we've got step 9, 7, 5, 3, and 1. So now we got to do the steps in between. So I'm going to need more black. It's very obvious. It's always better to add some more. Need some more black here. Okay. Now we got that. Now we're going to take some black and we're going to mix it in with some of this color. Or some of this value rather, value 3. I mix it down a little bit lower so I have space. That's the only reason I'm going a little lower. Now this value is going to be lighter than black, but a little darker than value 3. I need a little bit more black maybe. Take some more black here. Okay, I hope you can see that value change. A little bit more black maybe. Like I said, this is all very subjective. Okay. Got that value. And maybe I might want to darken this up a little bit, so I'll take some of that and just add it right in here. No harm done. Values are very subjective. Now that we've got that value, clean my palette knife off. We'll take some of value 5, put it right here, and scrape some of this one here. 3. Clean the palette knife off. Take a little bit more. The idea is that each step should be a little bit different than the step on either side of it. Now we'll take some of value 5 to make value 6. Scrape some of this right into it. Value 6. Now we'll take some of value 7 over here and mix some pure white into it. Mix a little bit more white. So we can see a distinct difference. Now we've got value 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's smooth out 5 a little bit so we can see what that value looks like. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And we want to try to make them look as different and varied as we can. So as I'm looking at it, let's see here. I think maybe I want to make value, see, that's 1, 2, 3. Maybe value 3 should be a little darker. Maybe a little bit darker. Let's see what that looks like. Say it's no set rule. All value scales will look a little different depending on the eye of the artist actually doing it. Okay, we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got our 9 value steps. Now we can proceed to paint.